Now, hello and welcome to episode 18 for our Let's Play of The Lord of the Rings. In the last episode we escaped Moria and we reached the forests of Lothlorien, though we lost Gandalf along the way and Sam and Frodo have been captured. So now our next task is going to be to do all we can in Lorien to prepare ourselves for rescuing them. And we just spoke with Galadriel and Celeborn. We were told to meet her at the mirror as well as to seek 5 magical objects that would help us in our quest. So we'll head south from her house. An elf who rests upon the hillside quickly rises to his feet when you approach. "I'm called Braggle here," he says. His gaze fixes upon Legolas. The look of a rival. "I hear the elves of Mirkwood are swift. Would you care for a race?" "Well, I'd wager our elf against theirs any day." You race around the hill 8 times. It is grueling, even to elves as seemingly tireless as Legolas and Braggle here. Legolas wins, barely. Truly Nessa herself could not have given a greater effort. Braggle here pants, "May the valor bless thee." And you get a little stat boost for doing that. Somewhere to the west you can discern the voice of an elven maid singing a song about Elanor flowers. Same thing, so we should go see where that's coming from. Maybe in this house here? On a chair you see a young and very beautiful elf maid, singing softly and holding a crown of Elanor in her hand. She takes a look at Legolas and says, "At last the one I have waited for has come. Until this moment I knew not love." There's a useful item here. It's a little bit, little strange. But at any rate, we found the Elanor crown, which was one of the items we were told to look for. And also in the last video we found the elf stone, which was also an item, although we didn't know it at the time. So anyways, if you head to the southeast of there, we're looking for Galadriel's mirror, which is somewhere around the river here. Within this deep green hollow murmurs the silver stream that issues from the fountain on the hill. At the bottom, upon a low pedestal, stood a basin of silver, wide and shallow, and beside it a silver ewer. The water from the mirror swirls and coalesces into strange shapes. Dark forces try to overwhelm the vision, but the power of Galadriel guides it, and against her there are few beings in Middle-earth of greater power. The image forms into the picture of a dark tower, not the one in Mordor, but within a murky forest, teeming with evil. This is the citadel of Dol Guldur. You see bubbling pits, strange mazes, and creatures with black skin and huge wings. And upon a throne the lieutenant of Sauron, the Black Captain, the Witch King of Angmar. Above him is the symbol of the evil eye. Beneath him he has prisoners, the friends that were taken from you, the Ringbearer and his treasure. Your friends are cast into a pit in the deepest bowels of Dol Guldur. The Witch King ignores them, as he has something more important to concern him. For some reason he is watching the south. Galadriel stirs. The quest is not over. The Witch King is being cautious. He fears that he will lose his prize, probably to Saruman. He awaits an army from Mordor to escort him to the Barad-dûr. We still have time to rescue Frodo. It is many leagues from Mordor to Mirkwood, and even the power of Sauron cannot change that. You must gather a force to overthrow the Witch King and wrest the ring from him. I offer you my aid. Take any of my commanders, even the Lord Celeborn. Also I give you an option of great power and peril. On the west wall of this cleft you will find an entrance. This leads to an underground area I sealed long ago. It connected to Moria, but when Durin's bane stirred, other evils also wakened. I was forced to close that ancient entrance. Within its caverns are great dangers, but also great treasures of wisdom and power. Few would dare it, fewer still would have the power to try. Only in such desperate times would I offer the key to anyone. Take it if you wish, this peril. If you succeed, you may find a way to rescue your friends and save the quest of the ring. There's a useful item here. So we have a key here. And we'll give it to Gimli, I guess. Although his inventory's full. This water is alive with the light of Erendel's star. Well, that's another of the items we were told to find. Although we don't have any way to carry the water around with us, unless we have something to put it in. And we actually have the bottle. I'll get rid of the mithril. I forgot I had that. But we have this bottle that we can maybe use to capture some of the water in it. Your intuition serves you well, for when you draw the water into the bottle becomes alive with the light of Erendel's star, the Silmaril that he brought through great peril to Valinor. And she said that door was to the west somewhere. And here it is. This huge doorway has a swan-shaped keyhole, around which the word Finarfin is written in Elvish script. And we'll just use that key. The doorway is sealed. There's an odd-shaped keyhole. Well, since we lost Gandalf, we don't have any way to see in here. Unless we equip the torch that we have somewhere. Here we go. So these are actually the bones of these creatures are big enough to be dragons. Maybe we'll have to deal with dragons. But these are the caves that I mentioned in the first Moria video that connect underground that we skipped at first. You could have come here if you wanted and you would have been able to do all this, but we chose to do it now. Long ago, the dwarves of Khazad-dûm used this room to make steel. The fires have long since ebbed, leaving a forge as the only reminder of what was once here. You feel that all is not as it should be in this place. Dwarven runes decorate the forge. On this site is an old dwarven forge. The metal seems greatly aged, but the small furnace is still intact. Made some sort of a magical sign there. And yeah, Gimli gets the word of power. If you don't have Durin's axe when you go there, Durin's ghost will appear and tell you to find it, basically. For an instant you have a brief vision of dwarves digging, searching for veins of gold and mithril, determined as only dwarves can be to find it. You feel as though you are becoming dwarven, sharing their pain and their hunger for gold. And suddenly everything snaps back to normal. What is happening to you? There's no gold in there, as you may think after that text. Upon the bridge, the chieftain of the Black Riders, the Witch King of Angmar, the Black Captain, known by 100 cursed names, laughs at you. This place is Sauron's domain, as all places shall soon be Sauron's domain. Then the vision fades. The stench of brimstone is quite overpowering. Well, the Witch King may be right if we can't find Frodo in time. From behind the rubble, a cry of Gandalf, Gandalf can clearly be heard. And we can dig through here to find whatever it is. The rubble cannot be moved by a spade or opened with a pick. There is some strange magic at work here. Well, we just got some dwarven magic, so maybe that can help us out. A brown bird flies out of the cave and into the light, celebrating its freedom. Beware a wolf in another man's clothes, it says as it flies away. Well, I wonder what it means by that. Stench of brimstone again. Brimstone and dragon's bones. And we have some orcs here. Uruks, actually. I guess I'll equip his actual sword, since we can still see the orcs even in the dark. And took a little damage there. We'll probably have to eat some of the food since we have 3 less party members now to take up space for items, and we're going to be getting a lot more items. We might even have to get rid of some that we have. So we'll equip the torch back on Boromir. And we'll give him some food here. Heal him up. Thieves, a booming voice commands. The chamber seems empty, except for a pair of stone wings. But the voice is that of a dragon. Touch my hoard, and I shall curse thee for eternity. Come closer, and I shall make this chamber your funeral pyre. We just took out the orcs, and I'd kind of like to test our might against a dragon. Somehow you know there is great treasure nearby, treasure that is meant for you and for you alone. No voice can possibly keep you from it. In fact, no one will keep you from having it. You begin to look around very suspiciously. I warned you, the draconian voice says, and you hear a sound like a great beast inhaling. And then there is the sound of fire and burning, but there is no heat, no fire. The dragon died long ago. Its presence has been kept alive throughout eternity through greed. But only as an invisible phantom, unable to affect the world in any way. Even its hoard is gone, except for a pair of stone wings. I guess it served him right. Well, brimstone again. We can actually use those wings closer than you may think. In the center of a swirling pool is a stone figure of a once proud eagle, standing silent on a solitary isle. Its wings have been shorn from its body, and its eyes are covered with mud. The water looks too swift to safely swim. Maybe we can use those stone wings and fly over there. Oh, they're white stone wings. The wings begin to flap, then stop abruptly. Only one who leads may wield my power, a voice says. We can change that then. I guess we have to be standing in the right place to use them. Because he's definitely leading. There we go. You look at this stone figure with a great deal of pity. It speaks in a noble but pleading voice. Wings, I must have wings, it cries. The eagle looks an awful lot like the brown birds that we've seen everywhere. Not to scale, I imagine. The mud melts from its eyes, and the great eagle spreads its wings and gives a cry. To you I give a gift. We eagles are the servants of one who will not abandon Middle-earth. When your need is uttermost, call upon Thorondor for deliverance. We'll go back to Aragorn as the leader now. And doing that, everyone's picked up a word of power, Thorondor. And that's everything we need in the caves down here. There was one more path you can take to the east here, but if you follow it south, you will wind up back in the 6th Deep of Moria. And there's nothing else we need in there, the Witch King again, but we know he's just a vision. Nothing to fret about. So we'll head back to Lothlorien. That being said, since we're not going back into Moria, we'll get rid of some things. Get rid of the ice staff, since we know that doesn't even work. The star key we don't need. The lady's token we don't need anymore. And I think I'll hang on to everything else. I basically said the door's locked and you can't proceed without the proper key. But we do have the proper key. So we're back in Lorien. Whose house is this? Oh, we've already been in her house. She had that weird thing with Legolas. Where are we going next? We'll go to the north and see what else we have up here in Lorien. A strong elf sees you and approaches you. In Valinor, Tulkas, the strongest of the Valar, taught me that wrestling hardens the fighting spirit. Will your leader engage me in a match, that we may both learn from it? Yeah, we can take him, probably. It is a long, hard match. Eventually, you force your opponent to the ground and hold his shoulders there. Belegcam grins. You are indeed mighty. It has been long since I had such a contest. May your strength endure for all of your days. You get another stat boost by doing that. Yeah, anytime you get little contests or challenges here in Lorien, usually get stat increases. Attached to the tree is a rope ladder that leads up to one of the flets where the elves live. In this flet, an elven maid with soft black hair hums as she turns thread on a spinning wheel. She notices you and nods. I am the seamstress Tinalin, she says. I sit and weave and make new things. This cape, do you like it? It's probably very pretty, even though we can't see it. Then, says Tinolin, you must have it. I'm of a melancholy mood, and if any of my works can help the great quest, even in the smallest way, you shall have made my life a better one. Take it. And this will give you a little boost to whichever character's holding it. Though I think I'll give it to Legolas. It'll probably match his crown quite nicely. And there's another flet around here somewhere. I believe it's this one. On the walls of this place are many beautiful bows, carved with masterful skill by Thontor, the finest elven bowyer in Middle-earth. My bows are in short supply, but I have one of special quality to give. Will you take it? Thontor smiles. May your aim be true. May you fell many of your enemies, if such be your need. My works have slain many orcs. He hands you a beautiful white bow made from the bark of a mallorn tree. Well, I'll give that to Legolas as well, although he'll have to get rid of his other bow, since his items are full. And we'll equip that to him. And off we go. Gets kind of confusing in here, which is it's really nice to have the map in Lorien. The trees you can go up in have sort of a distinct shape. No contest or anything there. And we're at the northern part of the forest. There's a smith we're looking for in the north east corner. Is this, I think this might be him. You hear the sound of a hammer repeatedly striking against a forge. Eventually an elf with broad shoulders looks at you with a toothy grin. I'm Kuradal, pupil of the great Celebrimbor, he says. Is there anything I can help you with? Well, we remember reading that the smith's ring was Celimberbor's ring. So maybe if this is his pupil, he might know something about it. Kuradal labors over the forge for what seems like an eternity. Finally, he holds the metal band aloft. A ring of power in the hands of Kuradal. Fortune has at last shone upon me. Kuradal laughs. History has taught the elves that desire for such power forges one's own death. Too much blood has been shed for the rings and jewels and other trinkets. Take this ring in the hopes that the days of the ring shall soon come to an end. He reforged the ring, and that is another item that will give you a bit of a stat boost to whichever character's holding it. Somewhere to the north, you can discern the voice of a hammer striking against an anvil. We already went up there and know that. Although, I think this might be a good point for us to bring this video to... Well, we have this house here. Let's see what's in here. The smell of baked goods is almost overwhelming. The elven baker, Kirion, is preparing bread made with honey, flour, Alanor dew, and ground mallorn seed. Maybe he'll give us some. The labors of Lorien are not easy, and I do not have much time. Still, if you have a question, ask, and I shall answer. Bread. We call this lembas, or way bread, for it is an excellent meal to take on travels. Only Galadriel may give this bread. Yeah, he's sounds like he's not going to give us any of his bread. An elf is firing arrows into a target. He looks at you and says, I am Earthel. Welcome, strangers, to Caras Galadon, the heart of Elvendom in Middle-earth. May the stars shine on your faces. Earthel is a cordial and friendly fellow, and you discuss many things. Conversation turns to his archery practice, as you admire the skill with which he places arrows into the target. Urthel is pleased by your compliment. He decides to offer you his assistance. I know that you are on a dangerous quest. I am considered a good archer, and even a better teacher. I can teach one of you the art of the bow, if you have the time. Do you accept Urthel's offer? It may come in handy, and you don't get the offer if you say no. You don't even have to take it, so I think you might as well. We'll give it to Boromir. Well, he's full. One of the hobbits, I guess. We'll take it. And that will be a good place for us to call this video to a close. And we have the rest of Lorien to explore in the next video, as well as the lands outside and near the mountains. So we'll start tackling that in the next video.